Hello, hello. We are live. So I just wanted to jump on really quickly. Tomorrow is, I think I'm frozen. So tomorrow is December 1st, and it's time. If you are not all in for this year, use today to get up your strength, to get up your excitement, to make sure that you are ready to rock and roll. Do not slack off. Do not think that the year is over or it's all done and this is where you need to stop. No, go all in. We want to get into January with momentum. You want to kind of start, a slight jog, maybe run before you get to January. That way, once you're there, you're like at a full speed when everybody else is just sort of gearing up. So that's what I wanted to talk about today is there's still plenty of time left. A lot of people are on holiday, a lot of people are on vacation, a lot of people are at work but not really working. So what does that mean? Opportunity for you, because if you're the one that is out there putting your content out there, getting out there, contacting people, doing the things that you need to be doing, then you're the one that they're seeing while they are kind of slacking off, right? So that is the goal for you. So I have a list of 5 things that I wanted to go over with you today just to give you some ideas, and I'd love to hear yours. I'd love to hear what you are trying to do to get more clients, but that's the topic of today. So let's dive in. The first one is follow up. So everybody has a list somewhere. You might be like, oh, I don't have a list, I don't have an email, I don't have this, I don't have that. You've spoken to people. If you've been in this for a while, you have spoken to people, you have a list. So just figure out who all you have spoken to, whether that's in the DMs, whether that's on the phone, you met somebody at a meeting, you've got a bunch of cards somewhere, any type of place that you have been or done. Find out, like, just create a list of all of the people that you have met and follow up with them. There's all sorts of ways you can follow up with them, but just get back in their world, ask them, what they've got going on, that type of thing. Tell them what you have going on. Follow up with some people and see where they're at and maybe what they need help with. How can you help them today? What can you do for them? So the next one is create a freebie. If you already have one out there, create a new one. If you haven't put yours out there in a while, create some things, some ways that you can get it out there. How can you let more people know about it so that you can kind of bring more people into your world? So create a freebie, get it out there, let people know how you can help them, what you have going on. That's an awesome way to do it. An easy one. Think of Canva, think of quick. Nobody wants long, drawn out processes. Nobody wants to read a book. I mean, maybe if you've written a book, that could be one thing. But for the most part, people want quick, fast, and easy. So think of quick tips. Think of the one I'm going to tell you about in a few minutes is a daily planner. It's, a cup. I think it's 2 sheets. One is an explanation and one is the actual planner. So whatever it is that you have going on, just think of how you can help them in their lives and their business and how you can give that to them for free to bring them into your world. So that's one, a freebie. Content strategy. So make a plan. Don't just go willy-nilly. I love that saying. Don't just go out there and go crazy and go nuts. Think of a plan. How can you get people into your world? How can you invite them to hear more about you, to see more about you, and write it all out? I mean, get a piece of paper out. I'm big on I'm big on paper. Write it on paper. Get your phone out. Take your notes. Whatever it is that you want to do. But think of whether it's one time a week, whether it's a couple of times a week. What are you posting? What are you posting about? How are you posting it? Is it a static, picture with a quote? Is it a text? Is it, text with some captions, description? Think of all of that when you're going to post it, how you're going to get it out. Map all of that out for December today if you don't already have it mapped out. Some of you are ahead of the game. But if you don't have it mapped out, take the time today, take an hour, take 10 minutes, whatever it's going to take you, and map out your content for the entire month of December. Do not slack off. You can pre-program it. So if you use Creator Studio, you can use that. You can even use it in Instagram now. There are a lot of ways that you can kind of help yourself ahead of time. but get it planned out. Tomorrow's December 1st. I don't want you to be caught without a plan. And again, go all in. Don't backpedal this month. Go all in. Lean into what you have going on. Get it going on more so instead of less than what you have going on. Networking. This is a great one, especially this month. Why is this a great one? People want to socialize. People want to be together. People want to hang out. So whether you're in December, whether you're in January, February, it doesn't really matter. But people always want to meet new people. People want to tell you what they have going on. Be open to hearing what somebody else has going on. Let people know how you can help them. And I want to talk about this one for a second, but don't just think of networking. Don't just think of, like putting yourself out there, but really get involved with people and try to get to know them and think of how you can help them personally and what do they have going on that you can kind of facilitate or you can help, or maybe who do you know that might be a great fit with them, or lives in the same town as them, does the same thing, or has some way, a group that they would really be perfect at. Networking is a lot more than you just telling them what you have going on. That is like the, old way of networking. And I hated networking until recently. And then I realized what it's really all about. And once I realized that, I got excited about it because it is a lot more fun and a lot more engaging than, I'm going to try to sell you and you try to sell me and who can do it first. I mean, that's so horrible. You've been on those calls, you've been in those networking groups, and that's just terrible, right? So think of, what do you have to offer them, of course, but how else can you help them? And in so many other ways. All right. And the last one that I want to talk about today is get control of your calendar. This is my one that I work on the most. So I, like you, I think networking is fun, right? I think it's great. But are you wasting the time when you network? I've done this a million times. Like I go on a networking call and I'm all excited. I map it out in my calendar. But what do? I don't map the time afterwards out. So I don't actually create the follow-ups. I don't put them into my CRM or my system or whatever it is that you use. I don't do that after part. Then it makes all of that time useless. So get control of your calendar. If you are going to do a content strategy, how much time do you need to plan it? How much time do you need to create the content? How much time do you need to add the graphics? When I really first started getting into this, I would create time for one thing, but then there's like 80 other different things that you need to do until it's actually up there. And I wouldn't do any of those. So I have lots and lots of content out there. Not out there on my computer that I've never even put out there because I didn't map out the time to do all the rest of it. So make sure that you have time scheduled in your calendar for all of that. But what do I really mean by control your calendar? If we're talking about getting new clients, it's outreach. It's the one thing that we all probably try to avoid more than anything. And that is actually making a move. We need to pick up the phone. We need to make the appointments. We need to take the time to do the outreach, to get on in people's DMs, to do whatever it is. So make sure that every single day, unless you have more money, more clients, more, you're making more impact than you possibly could in your entire lifetime, unless you are full in all of those areas. The very one thing that you need to be focused in on is outreach. And you have to control your calendar because a million things can come up, or you can create a million things. You've all been there, right? There are a lot of other things that are so much more fun to do or so much easier to do and way less uncomfortable to do than to actually put yourself out there. Even the content, right? We go over content. Networking is so much easier than actually picking up the phone and speaking to somebody, or one-on-one contacting somebody and saying, hey, I can help you do this, or let's do this, or anything like that. So if you're looking at why you don't have enough clients or how you can get more clients this month, The best advice I can give you is take control of your calendar. Make sure you're doing those uncomfortable things first thing in the morning, because that's really, if you can get it out of the way, then you can use the rest of your day to do those other things. So today, what I have is what I call Operation Leap. It's one of my programs. If you're interested, it's called Operation Leap Daily Planner. And I would love for you to have it if you're interested. It's free. It's 2 pages. The planner is 1 page, and then I've added another page of an explanation of how to go through, and I call it Profits, and it's the 7 steps of profit, how to actually go through that on a daily basis to nail it, to really get done what you need to get done in your business and make sure that you are focusing in on the important things, the profit making things. And I know, I hear you. You're like, I'm not that concerned about profit. That's not my number one goal. My number one goal is helping. My number one goal is making an impact, leaving my legacy, making sure everybody who I leave behind, I've left a better world, that type of thing. You need profit to be able to do all of those. I promise you. So you can call it your impact. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But you have to be able to make money to be able to provide more in all of those areas and make more impact. So I want to get you involved in that. And it is 100% free. It's what my clients use every single day to make sure that they're focusing on the really important things. And if you want to look at it like impact, what are those things that probably make you uncomfortable, but how can you make more outreach? How can you zero in on what it is you need to do to get more done and make more impact? All right, this is Erica Leary. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is the first time joining me, I love to talk about anything having to do with marketing and business. My programs are called Operation Leap. I have another program called Leap with Leverage. That's a summit that I just got done doing, and Leap Technique. So love to have you guys involved in any of those. And if nothing else, I love networking. So let me know below this if you are interested in the daily planner that my clients use. You can just leave me a planner below this and I will send it your way. All right, have an amazing day, and I will see you later.